Hey, Hoops fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your ultimate WNBA betting destination. I'm your host, Kokon, and I'm pumped to dive into today's action-packed episode. We're gearing up for a deep analysis and some sharp predictions. But before we break down today's matchup, smash that subscribe button to stay in the loop with our forecasts. And if you dig our insights and today's WNBA game predictions, show some love by liking, sharing, or doing both. Stay locked in as we roll into today's WNBA betting picks on Tips and Streams. Today we have predictions for 5 WNBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the New York Liberty and Connecticut Sun. The New York Liberty and the Connecticut Sun, both with impressive 17-4 records, are gearing up for a thrilling Eastern Conference clash today. This is more than just a regular season game. It's a battle between two of the best teams in the league. The Liberty recently suffered a narrow 83-78 road loss to the Indiana Fever, ending their 5-game winning streak. On the other hand, the Sun are riding the momentum of a 3-game winning streak, with their latest victory being an 80-67 triumph over the Atlanta Dream. The Liberty have been lighting up the scoreboard, averaging 86.7 points per game, which is the second best in the league. They have been shooting efficiently, hitting 45.2% of their shots from the field and 34.1% from three-point range. Their free throw percentage is an impressive 82.8%, and they lead the league with 36.0 rebounds per game. Defensively, the Liberty have been solid, allowing only 77.9 points per game, which is the third best in the WNBA. Their opponents have struggled to shoot against them, with New York holding them to 42.5% from the field and 32.9% from beyond the arc. Brianna Stewart has been a key player, averaging 19.4 points, 9.0 rebounds, and 2.1 steals per game. Conversely, the Connecticut Sun have been equally formidable. They average 79.9 points per game, placing them 8th in the league, and they shoot 44.0% from the field and 31.7% from three-point range. Their rebounding, however, has been a concern, with only 33.4 total rebounds per game, ranking them 9th in the league. Defensively, the Sun are the best in the WNBA, allowing just 72.8 points per game. They have held their opponents to 43.6% shooting from the field and 30.9% from three-point range, showcasing their defensive strength. DeWanna Bonner has been instrumental for the Sun, averaging 16.9 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game. When looking at their recent head-to-head matchups, the Liberty have the edge, having won their previous meeting this season 82-75 on the road. However, the Sun have been dominant at home with a 9-2 record. The Liberty, while strong on the road with a 7-3 record, have shown some vulnerabilities, as evidenced by their recent loss to the Fever. In terms of player availability, the Liberty will be without Nyara Sabali, which could affect their depth. The Sun are missing Mariah Jefferson, but they have managed well in her absence. When considering back-to-back games, the Liberty have shown resilience, but their performance can dip, especially against top-tier defenses like the Suns. The Sun, benefiting from a good rest period, should be fresh and ready to take advantage of any weaknesses. Statistically, the Liberty have an advantage in offensive metrics, but the Suns' superior defense and home court advantage could be decisive. The Liberty's shooting and rebounding are impressive, but the Suns' defensive stats and lower turnover rate give them an edge. Over the last 5 games at this venue, the Sun have won 3, demonstrating their ability to perform under pressure at home. The Liberty, despite their strength, have not consistently dominated in Connecticut. In conclusion, the Connecticut Sun's elite defense and strong home record make them the favorites in this matchup. While the Liberty's offensive power is undeniable, the Sun's ability to stifle opponents and control the game at home will be crucial. My prediction for this game is that the Connecticut Sun will cover the spread, and I'm putting my bet on them. The Sun's defense will likely be too much for the Liberty, who will struggle to find their rhythm against the league's top defensive team. Expect the Sun to leverage their home court advantage and extend their winning streak, making a significant statement in the Eastern Conference. The second prediction for today is for a game between the Washington Mystics and Indiana Fever. Hoops enthusiasts gear up for a thrilling matchup. The Washington Mystics are on the road, set to face the Indiana Fever in a midday clash in the Hoosier State. This game is pivotal as both teams aim to secure their spots in the playoff race. The Mystics are in a slump, having recently fallen to the Minnesota Lynx with a 74-67 loss. Their season has been challenging, marked by one of the lowest records in the league. Ariel Atkins has been a standout, scoring 15 points and grabbing 3 steals in their last game. Despite her efforts, the Mystics' offensive struggles are clear, ranking 11th in the league with 78.5 points per game. Their defense, however, has been somewhat reliable, allowing 83 points per game, placing them in the middle of the standings. On the other hand, the Fever are riding high after a surprising 83-78 win against the New York Liberty. Rookie star Caitlin Clark was phenomenal, recording a triple-double with 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists. Indiana's offense has been consistent, averaging 80.6 points per game and shooting 43.9% from the field. However, their defense has room for improvement as they allow 87.2 points per game, ranking 11th in the league. In their last 10 encounters, the Mystics have emerged victorious 6 times, but the Fever have won 3 of the last 4, including their latest meeting on June 19, 2024, where Indiana secured an 88-81 victory at home. Historically, Indiana has been dominant at home, winning the last 5 matchups against Washington on their court. The Mystics, meanwhile, have struggled on the road with a dismal 2-10 record. When comparing these teams, the Fever have several key advantages. Field goal percentage, Fever, 43.9%, Mystics, 42.8%. 3-point percentage, Fever, 34.6%, Mystics, 36.3%. Offensive rebounds, Fever, 34.2 per game, Mystics, 31.8 per game. Indiana's efficient shooting and control of the boards, particularly on the offensive end, give them a significant edge. Meanwhile, the Mystics' shooting woes and rebounding issues have been a major setback. The Mystics are also dealing with several injuries. Shakira Austin, Brittany Sykes, and Carly Samuelson are all sidelined, further weakening their lineup. The Fever, in contrast, are relatively healthy, with no major injuries. Considering all these factors, the Indiana Fever are poised to extend their winning streak against the Mystics. Caitlin Clark's impressive form and Indiana's strong home performance make them the favorites. Washington's road struggles and injury-riddled roster only tilt the odds further in Indiana's favor. Although the Mystics are not in a back-to-back game situation, their recent schedule has been taxing. The Fever's home dominance, coupled with their superior shooting and rebounding, should see them comfortably cover the 5-point spread. With the Fever's recent momentum and the Mystics' downward trajectory, expect Indiana to win and cover the spread. The game also has the potential to exceed the total points margin of 167.5, given both teams' scoring tendencies and defensive vulnerabilities. My pick is for the Indiana Fever to win and cover the 6-point spread. With Indiana's momentum and home court advantage, they should handle the Mystics and keep their playoff hopes alive. Hoops fans, get ready for an exciting game filled with spectacular plays and intense action. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Atlanta Dream and Chicago Sky. The Atlanta Dream and Chicago Sky are set to clash this Wednesday at Wintrust Arena, both teams eager to bounce back from a rocky season. The Dream, with a 7-13 record, are in a slump, having lost their last 4 games. The Sky aren't far behind, sitting at 8-12 and losing 3 of their last 4. This game promises to be a pivotal one, as both squads are hungry for a victory. Atlanta's offense has struggled, putting up just 75.9 points per game on 41.2% shooting. Alicia Gray has been their standout performer, leading the team with 16.1 points per game and providing essential leadership on the court. Despite Ryan Howard being sidelined with an injury, she's been a key player with averages of 15.4 points and 3.4 assists. Tina Charles, who is grabbing 8.8 rebounds per game, will need to dominate the boards for Atlanta to stay competitive. Defensively, the Dream have been inconsistent. They rank 5th in the league, allowing 81 points per game, but recent games have revealed some weaknesses. During their 4-game skid, they've given up an average of 82.75 points per game. They must tighten up their defense and find a way to stifle the Sky's offense to break their losing streak. Chicago has shown flashes of brilliance but remains inconsistent. They average 79.4 points per game on 42.1% shooting. Chennedy Carter has been their offensive dynamo, scoring 16.5 points per game. Rookie Angel Reese has been impressive, averaging 14.1 points and a team-high 11.9 rebounds. Marina Mabre, with her 13.8 points and 4.3 assists, completes a solid core for the Sky. However, the Sky's defense has been leaky, allowing 81.2 points per game, ranking them 6th in the league. Their recent loss to the Seattle Storm, where they conceded 84 points underscored their defensive issues. They need to shore up their defense to keep the Dream at bay. Historically, these teams are evenly matched. They've faced each other twice this season, each securing a win on the road. In their last meeting, Chicago triumphed 85-77, while Atlanta won the earlier game 89-80. Both teams have struggled on the road and at home, with Chicago posting a 3-7 home record and Atlanta a 4-10 road record. Injuries will play a significant role in this game. The Sky will be without Elizabeth Williams, a critical absence affecting their interior defense. The Dream are missing key players like Letitia Amahir, Aerial Powers, Jordan Canada, and Ryan Howard. These absences put additional pressure on players like Alicia Gray and Tina Charles to step up. In terms of recent performance, the Sky have shown resilience even in losses. They led early against Seattle but faltered in the second half. Angel Reese's 17-point, 14-rebound performance was a highlight, and she'll need to replicate that effort against Atlanta. Conversely, the Dream have struggled to close out games. Their 67-point outing against Connecticut was a low point, and they need a more balanced offensive effort to compete. A key factor will be how each team handles the back-to-back game scenario. The Sky have had mixed results in such situations, often struggling with energy levels and execution. The Dream have shown resilience, but injuries and fatigue could play a significant role. Statistically, the Sky have a slight edge in several areas. They shoot better from the field, 42.1% compared to the Dream's 41.2%, and from the three-point line at 31.7% versus the Dream's 32.1%. However, Atlanta's defense might give them the edge they need. The Dream have a better free throw percentage at 78.0% compared to the Sky's 75.0%, and a slight edge in defensive rebounding, which could be crucial in a close game. Considering current form, injuries, and historical performance, this game is likely to be a tight contest. While the Sky have home court advantage, their struggles at Wintrust Arena cannot be ignored. The Dream, despite their recent losses, have shown they can win on the road and might just have the defensive chops to keep this game close. In conclusion, expect a hard-fought battle with both teams playing with a sense of urgency. The Dream's defense and the Sky's inconsistency at home make this a game where Atlanta could cover the spread. Despite their recent form, the Dream have the tools to keep it close and possibly pull off an upset. The prediction here is that Atlanta will cover the 6-point spread. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the LAS Vegas Aces and Seattle Storm. The Las Vegas Aces and Seattle Storm are gearing up for a highly anticipated showdown, with both teams showcasing impressive performances in the WNBA. The Aces, boasting a 13-7 record, have been on a tear, winning 7 of their last 8 games. Meanwhile, the Storm, with a 14-7 record, are not far behind, having secured victories in 5 of their last 6 outings. The Aces are riding high after a commanding 104-85 victory against the Dallas Wings, led by the unstoppable A'ja Wilson, averaging 27 points and 10.9 rebounds per game. Their offense is the best in the league, scoring 89.4 points per game on 45.5% shooting. Kelsey Plum has been a reliable second option, contributing 19.2 points per game. However, their defense has been a bit shaky, allowing 83.7 points per game, which ranks 8th in the league. On the flip side, the Storm have been formidable on both ends of the court. They are 3rd in scoring, with 84.1 points per game, and 4th in defense, allowing just 78.1 points per game. Jewel Lloyd and Nneka Ogwumike have been the driving forces, averaging 19.9 and 17.5 points per game, respectively. Their defense has been stout, holding opponents to 42.2% shooting, the second-best mark in the league. A key factor in this game is the recent form of both teams. The Aces have been rejuvenated by the return of Chelsea Gray, whose presence has transformed them into a powerhouse. However, their defense remains a concern, especially after struggling against the Los Angeles Sparks. Seattle, on the other hand, has been dominant at home, winning 9 of their last 10 games. Their victory over the Chicago Sky showcased their resilience and ability to control the game's tempo. Historically, the Storm have a slight edge in head-to-head matchups, winning 3 of the last 5 games in Seattle. This, combined with their current home form, gives them a psychological advantage. Injury-wise, the Aces will miss Elizabeth Kitley and Kaya Stokes, while the Storm will be without Mackenzie Holmes. These absences will test the depth of both squads, but the Aces' star-studded lineup seems better equipped to handle these challenges. Both teams love to push the pace, with the Aces leading the league at 98.41 and the Storm close behind at 98.00. This fast-paced style often leads to high-scoring games, and with the total points line set at 173.5, it's likely this game will exceed that number. Analyzing the stats, Las Vegas boasts the best offense, but has shown defensive vulnerabilities. Seattle, with a more balanced approach, combines strong offensive and defensive performances. The Storm's superior defense and home court advantage make them a tough opponent. I caught the last showdown where the Aces took down the Wings. Even with their 19-point blowout, they didn't exactly dazzle me. The Aces were far from peak form, but the Wings flat-out collapsed in the second half, riddled with turnovers and a lackluster offensive effort. Can the Aces step up their game? You bet they can, but now they're facing a team that's rock solid at home. I'm leaning towards Seattle with the points, but the Aces could easily crank out a big performance. I'm steering clear of picking a winner here. The real action might be in betting on the total points. The Aces are dropping 89.4 points per game and should have no issues lighting up the scoreboard. The Storm, with an average of 84.1 points per game, won't struggle to score against the Aces' shaky defense. Defense is likely to be an afterthought for both teams, which should drive the game over the total points. Betting on the over seems like the smart play. In conclusion, with both teams in great form and their recent games being high-scoring affairs, expect the total points to soar past 173.5. The Aces' offensive firepower can match anyone, and the Storm's scoring and defense will keep it competitive and high-scoring. Get ready for an electrifying contest with a ton of points on the board. The fifth prediction for today is for a game between the Dallas Wings and Phoenix Mercury. The Phoenix Mercury, with an 11-10 record, will host the Dallas Wings, sitting at 5-17 at the Footprint Center this Wednesday afternoon in a Western Conference clash. Phoenix leads the season series 2-1, making this game crucial for both teams' momentum. Phoenix has been riding a wave of success, currently on a 2-game winning streak, including a hard-fought 84-78 victory over the Los Angeles Sparks. This marked their 7th win in the last 11 games, showcasing their resilience under pressure. Natasha Cloud has been phenomenal, dropping 31 points against the Sparks, with Kalia Copper and Brittany Griner also providing significant offensive firepower. On the flip side, Dallas has struggled this season, languishing at the bottom of the standings with a 5-17 record. They are coming off a rough 104-85 loss to the Las Vegas Aces, marking their 15th defeat in the last 17 games. Their defense has been particularly problematic, allowing opponents an average of 89.2 points per game, the worst in the league. Despite their defensive woes, the Wings have shown some offensive prowess, averaging 81 points per game, ranking 6th in the WNBA. However, their defense remains a major liability, with opponents shooting 46.2% against them, the highest in the league. Arike Ogunbowale has been a bright spot, averaging 23.1 points per game, but her efforts have been overshadowed by the team's overall defensive struggles. Phoenix's offense has been potent, averaging 83 points per game and ranking 4th in the league. Their shooting efficiency is solid, hitting 43.2% overall and 33.2% from beyond the arc. However, their defense isn't much better, allowing 84.9 points per game, ranking 9th. They will need to step up their defensive game to keep their winning streak alive. Injuries could play a role in this matchup. Phoenix will be missing Charisma Osborne and Diana Taurasi, while Rebecca Allen is likely to play despite a back issue. Dallas will be without Maddie Siegrist, Satu Sabali, and Jaylen Brown, with Lou Lopez-Senecal questionable due to illness. Recent encounters between these teams have been high-scoring affairs, with both defenses struggling to contain each other. Their last matchup saw Phoenix outscore Dallas 104-96, underscoring the Wings' defensive vulnerabilities. This trend suggests another high-scoring game is on the horizon. Analyzing their performances in back-to-back scenarios, Phoenix has shown resilience, often coming back stronger, while Dallas has struggled with consistency and fatigue, leading to poor showings. This could give Phoenix an edge in this game. Statistically, Phoenix has better shooting percentages, both overall and from three-point range. They also have a slight edge in offensive and defensive rebounding. These factors, combined with their recent form, suggest Phoenix has the upper hand. When comparing home and away performances, Phoenix's home court advantage is clear. They've won 7 of their last 9 home games, showing strong performances at the Footprint Center. Conversely, Dallas has lost their last 10 road games, highlighting their struggles away from home. In conclusion, While Phoenix is likely to win and cover the spread, the better bet is on the total points to go over 174.5. Both teams have poor defenses, and their recent high-scoring games indicate this matchup will likely see plenty of points. My money is on the total points going over the set line.